All right, welcome back, Phasmophobia fam. Awesome video today. Today we're going to be ranking all the equipment in Phasmophobia. In 2022, we have 22 pieces of equipment. We're going to make a tier list. It's going to be awesome. If you're a new player, I've set up this entire YouTube channel just for you. I have beginner's guides that cover everything about Phasmophobia you need to know. And it's super easy to understand, super simple. Also, make sure you join up with the community. We're on Discord. We're on Twitch. We have over 1,100 players in the Discord now. It's amazing. It's a great place to either learn the game or to make friends to play with. And we're super friendly. We would love to meet you. That'd be amazing. So come on over and say hello. Now let's get this video started. So this tier list. We have 22 items here in Phasmophobia. How I want to do this, I have put zero thought into how I'm going to rank these. I have 1,400 hours in this game. Something like that. Way too many. I'm like level 6,300. And I just want to go through the process of ranking them and then talking out loud, thinking out loud. And I might move some things around, and always this stuff can change in the future. Keep that in mind. This isn't set in concrete. Well, I guess we'll just go one at a time and place it, and then as we place more things, there'll be a little more context as to what we're doing. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you learn some new things about the equipment, because we're going to talk about everything. Everything. All right, so the first thing we have here is a Crucifix. Crucifix is awesome. I love the Crucifix. It might be a little overrated. In my opinion, people might think of it as more powerful than it really is. Once you really learn how to escape hunts and how to hide, Crucifix becomes a lot less valuable, aside from the objective, which can be very challenging on bigger maps anyway. I think for Crucifix, we're just going to start this off. This might change later as we go through the video. We're going to start this off on like the C tier. So the S tier up here is going to be essential stuff you need to bring with you every mission. And I think the S and A... I think we'll actually kind of divide between the two. They'll be like the same tier, but we'll break that down, I think, as we get into some of the more interesting equipment. So now a glow stick. A glow stick glows purple. It can get you fingerprints. It can get you footprints. It does what a UV light does. The strength that the glow stick will have over the UV light is that it won't flicker during a ghost hunt or a ghost event, and it won't attract the ghost during a hunt. So you can keep the glow stick in your hand during an entire hunt, and the ghost isn't going to find you because of the glow stick. But the weakness is it only glows really bright for like a minute. And then it dims down. So for footprints, I actually end up using the UV light more often. I set the UV light down on the floor, and in the ray of the UV light on the floor, I place the salt. That seems to be my method. It's cool, but I'm going to put it here with Crucifix for now, I think. All right, headcam. Headcams, I don't even buy them anymore, but they are very useful. It's good to have one on your teammate's head when someone, especially if you have 4 players, one of them's a trailer camper, they can always watch the headcams for orbs, dots, stuff like that. I like the headcam. I don't think it's quite as good as a video camera because someone has to be in there to use it. So headcam I'm going to put in this like B tier, I think. I like them, but conventional video camera is better in my opinion. Now, lighter. Lighter is, in and of itself, not a thing. What it does is it activates other things. So you're going to need a lighter to light candles and to activate smudges, which are both very important in this game. Well, smudges in particular are very important. But you have the candle objective. You can use the candles to, test ghosts and stuff, but we can't do any of that without a lighter. So lighter is going to have to be, we have to put lighter with the, where we're going to put a smudge and a candle, right? Like we have to have all that kind of, lighter is synonymous with smudge. So I think I can see myself putting smudge. Let's just rank smudge first. Let's rank smudge first. And then we'll put lighter with it because I think lighter goes where smudge goes. It has to go there. It has to go there. So let's go. Smudge stick is going to be A for me. And y'all can feel free to disagree. That's fine. I actually like that. But it might end up being an S tier because I use them so often. They're heavily important. So if you think about a smudge stick, what does it do? So it makes the ghost more active when you just smudge the ghost room. It also prevents the ghost from hunting for 90 seconds after you smudge the ghost room. 180 seconds for a spirit, 60 seconds for a demon. But it can also get you 2 different objectives. It can help you escape the ghost hunt, smudge the ghost room, smudge the ghost during hunt, all that stuff. It also can save your life during hunts. So late match when you're trying to get a speed test to figure out what ghost you're dealing with, especially on nightmare mode, or trying to get that ghost photo for the objective or just to fill out your book, You normally have a smudge there with you. Smudge is super important. So smudge and lighter are going to go together. For now. Interesting, right? Interesting. So motion sensor. Motion sensor, I have a strong dislike of motion sensors because they're so expensive. What are these, $100 per motion sensor? And you really only need them. The only time you ever need a motion sensor is to get an objective. So this is a high price for little return. When you get an objective, even on nightmare mode, that's going to be $10 multiplied by 4. That's $40 for that motion sensor if you happen to have the objective. So if you have the objective, you can make $40. But you only have the objective some matches, and if you're bringing motion sensors in every match because you don't know what the objectives are going to be, and you start dying, all of a sudden you're losing $100 a pop. So this is a tough one for me. I can't put it at D because there is a functional use for it that will make you money, but I can't put it any higher than C. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to see right now that Crucifix and Glowstick are probably going to be moved up because I can't. This is what I'm talking about, like thinking out loud. I can't group these together here. Crucifix is better than a motion sensor to me, and Glowstick is better than a motion sensor easily. So we're going to move these up here. So now it's starting to shape up how we're going to rank things. Because with any ranking, you need context, right? You need tons of context because it's all relative. Now, Parabolic Mic. Now, this is interesting. I love the Paramic. How useful is it? Well, it doesn't get you an objective. You don't make money directly off of having it. You could make an argument for early game using it to figure out where the ghost is coming from or what it's moving around, especially on bigger maps. It's got like a 30-meter range in like a cone funnel. So if you're walking around prison, you could use a Parabolic Mic and get not that close to the cell blocks and kind of scan and see if the ghost might be in there, or, you know. But also, where I think the biggest value is with the Parabolic Mic, at least for me, is on nightmare mode. You can use it to test for myling as well as Banshee. So Banshee does this iconic screech in the Paramic. Also, the mylings are just more likely to whisper. So you can use that for testing, but it's not giving you any money back directly. So I like it better than C tier. but I can't put it higher than C tier, right? I can't. It's not there with a glow stick. It's not there with a crucifix. It just can't be with them. It's not that useful, right? That's my thought on it. All right, now salt. So salt, we have to use that to get an objective every now and then. Salt is actually my favorite way to make money. It's my favorite hack to make money, as long as you don't have a wraith. You put down some salt, you drop the UV light, and you just get, 7-8 footstep photos. It's got to be, so it brings in money. Now, keep in mind, when you fill out your photo book, you're making $40 on the end screen. When you get the ghost correctly, which takes, 3 pieces of equipment plus, when you guess the ghost correctly, you're getting $10 on small maps, $30 on medium maps, and $50 on Asylum. People rarely play Asylum anymore, so salt can be more value or help you get more value than just literally figuring out what the ghost is, which is kind of like the point of the game. So that's interesting. So salt is strong. How strong is it? I'm gonna go B. Because, well, also another bonus with salt. Most people know this by now. The wraith will not give you footsteps. That's why I was saying you can make money unless you have the wraith. I'm gonna have to go B with salt, right? I think that's a good call. So far we have no S tier, but A is kind of like S minus in my mind, I think. All right, Sanity Pills. Do you need them? Not if you're fast. But Sanity Pills are good, especially with more stubborn ghosts. You obviously need them to replenish your sanity and reduce the chances of getting hunted. We have to put them... I'm going to put them in A. They're not S tier because there are matches that I play where I just literally don't use them. And sometimes you do want the ghost to hunt. So we're going to put them in A because it's not all out S, but it's something I would bring with me every single mission. I'd never go in without Sanity Pills. I'd never go in. So A tier shaping up Smudge, Sanity Pills, Lighter. B's got the head cam, the glow stick, the crucifix, the salt. And the motion sensor and parabolic are in the C category, SADs. All right, so sound sensor, get out of my face. Get out of my face. Sound sensor, I don't even buy them. I don't take them in. Why would I go in and set up a sound sensor in a room to try and figure out where the ghost is when I can just walk around with a thermometer and EMF? If I'm using a sound sensor, I'm probably already finding evidence before it even has any value to me, so I don't even buy it. Get out of my face, sound sensor. I don't know. I don't know of, and maybe you can comment on this video. Does anyone use the sound sensor? Because for me, this is my personal list. So maybe you find a lot of value out of it and you use it and you rank it higher. If so, just please let me know why. No problem with that at all. I mean, I love talking about the game and getting different perspectives and such, but I've played with a lot of different people, and there's only been like one person I've ever seen set up sound sensors. And that's just because I happened to have them for a previous video that I filmed. I bought them to explain what they were in the trailer. And they started setting them up. I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was confused. So what I think they could do with the sound sensor is perhaps figure out a way to, you could put it in there as an objective. You could put it in there as a way to maybe identify some ghosts depending on the reading. Stuff like that. That could be interesting. I don't know. I just don't use it. It's just not worth the time. Setting one of those up and having to watch, it's just like I could be doing other stuff in the game and progressing faster. Now, Spirit Box is going to be... It's got to be S tier. Spirit Box has to be S tier. And the reason it has to be S tier is because if you don't have a Spirit Box, you're not getting that ghost evidence. You absolutely need the Spirit Box to get that ghost evidence. And there's a couple of other main pieces of equipment that you don't necessarily need to get the evidence. For example, we'll go Strong Flashlight. Strong Flashlight is going to be D tier. Nobody needs to see. You kidding me? No, I'm just kidding. Strong Flashlight has to be S. You want it. It's so much better than the regular flashlight, and you need to see. I've actually done full Asylum matches where I just use like a UV light and can barely see anything. And it's so much more difficult and so much just worse of an experience than having it. Like a Strong Flashlight is so good. So good. And it's one of those things we take for granted because everyone's always got one, at least once you have some money. But it's got to be S tier. It's got to be S tier, in my opinion. Got to be. You could make an argument for A, but literally, I never go without it. So A is S minus. Let's put it here. Let's put it here for now. I mean, So, on the contrary to the Strong Flashlight, thinking about it even more, I always ditch it late game when I'm getting hunted. I just drop it, and once you know your way around all the maps, after playing hours and hours and hours of this game, you kind of ditch that stuff. Late game, you drop it in favor of having a photo camera, a smudge, and a light or something like that. But you want to, like, I'll set it on the ground to light a path near me. So, we'll put it there. All right, Thermometer. Thermometer is going to be A, bordering on S. Thermometer is most valuable for finding the ghost room by reading a cold temperature and seeing if the ghost moved. But freezing temps, you'll know just from breath. So you don't necessarily, like, I'd say if I found freezing temps in 100 matches, 97 of those matches were because I saw a breath, not because I had a thermometer. Just me personally. That's just how... And even if I have the thermometer in my hand, I still see the breath first. That's just how I think of it. But it's good because, especially on the higher difficulties, once the ghost starts moving around, yeah, you're gonna want it. You're gonna want it, especially if you have like a mare. Oh my god, the mare constantly jumping around. All right, a tripod. This one's tricky. Is a tripod that useful? You don't need it. You can set up a camera just about anywhere. A tripod helps you get a good angle. It also limits your ability to cycle items freely. So when you're holding a tripod with a camera on it, you can't cycle anything else without dropping that thing. Now, tripods are common. They're commonly used. Everyone loves to use them, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're that good. They're more convenient than they are good, in my opinion. I'm going to have to put tripod on. I really hate the sound sensor. I don't want to put the tripod with the sound sensor. I don't want to put the tripod with the sound sensor. I mean, should we put it with the sound sensor? What? What? We can't. I'm going to go C for tripod just because I can't do it dirty with a sound sensor. All right, now writing book. This is a media S tier. The reason it's a media S tier is because you don't know if you have ghostwriting unless you have a writing book. So, that's huge. That's huge. And, yeah, you definitely don't want those. That kind of thing isn't debatable. So you need a spirit box to get spirit box evidence. You need a writing book to get writing evidence. Now, an EMF, I could make a solid argument to put this on A tier and not S tier, because you can get, well, unless you're on nightmare mode, you can get EMF readings from the activity chart in the van. You can get an EMF 5 as long as it's not a ghost event. When you get a vertical line of 4 levels without a ghost event, that'd be an EMF 5. So you can make an argument for EMF being A tier, but I use it a lot just to locate the ghost. I always start with it, so because it's got that added value, if we were just looking at EMF from just specifically an evidence standpoint, I would put it A, but because I use it a lot to go into the house and just locate the ghost as my starter equipment, I'm going to put it on S, because those two provide that value for me. Now, UV light. UV light, we have glow sticks, we have UV lights. UV light is a little bit overrated because you don't need it. Especially if you have a glow stick, but you don't need it to get fingerprint evidence. You also don't need it to get footstep evidence. You can just snap a picture of the floor without any UV light or glow stick when the ghost is walking, get footprint pics, and you can just snap a picture of the door without a UV light and get fingerprints. So UV light's got to be, I don't want to put it lower than A because it's better than the glow stick. So it has to be a tier up from the glow stick because it's just, it stays stronger for longer, and I think it just works better for footprints, personally. I think it is stronger than, I would rather have the UV light than the glow stick. I don't think they're on the same level. I'm gonna put it on A. I'm gonna put it on A, but it's like, I don't think it's like A as in like S minus. I think it's like A as in like B plus, if that makes sense. We need like an extra tier here. I would put it technically under these, but above these. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, flashlight. Flashlight, we're gonna have to put that with, we're gonna put that on C? Flashlight on C. I mean, it's good to have it. Obviously, you want to, so is strong flashlight 2 tiers better than regular flashlight? I think so. Especially on the bigger maps. Especially, like for me, it's hard to think about this from like the perspective of most players, because I can go into a map without a flashlight and probably be decently okay, just knowing my way around. But I remember, I'm thinking back to when I first started playing. The first time I played high school, I had no idea where the heck I was. And having that strong flashlight to see that extra little bit of distance was huge. Was huge for navigating. But for me now, it doesn't really, I'm gonna have to, I think C is accurate. Okay, so video camera. The video camera is incredibly useful for orbs. Also, we can use it to find dots a lot easier. I think video camera is S tier. We don't know if we have orbs unless we have a video camera. And sometimes we don't know if we have dots unless we have a video camera. So especially on nightmare mode, Goryo, you need the video cam to do the Goryo test, and you need it just to find orbs in general. Video camera's got to be up there, for sure. All right, so photo cam. Now, as this isn't responsible, well, it kind of is. This isn't responsible for directly getting you any ghost evidence, but it makes you the most money on smaller maps. The photo cam is going to make you $40 per match if you get all the proper photos, all 3 stars. If you get 10 3-star fingerprint photos, you're getting $40 on Tanglewood just from photos. And if you get all the evidence for the ghost and guess the ghost correctly on Tanglewood, you're getting $10. So photo cam has to be S tier. I love the photo camera. I love snapping pictures. The favorite thing that I do periodically is accidentally snap a photo before I go into the match, and then I get to the door and then realize that I forgot the key anyway, and I just rage quit and play Fortnite. That happens. That's the worst thing you can do. But photo cam is definitely up here on the top. It's so important. It's essential, right? All right, now dots. Dots are another one. We have to put it S tier. It's got to be default, because we don't know if we have dots unless we have a dots projector. Make sense? That's not debatable for me. That's got to be S tier, because you absolutely 100%. There's no shimmying around and trying to find evidence in alternate ways for dots, you just need a dots projector. So now candle. So candle is depending on the use case. Now, if you're someone like me that likes to test different ghosts and what they do with different sanities and stuff like that, candle is really good to help keep like a controlled environment, because when you're holding it and it's lit, you're not eroding your passive sanity. So if you want to see if a ghost hunts at 70% sanity, you can lower your sanity down to 66, 67% and then just hold a candle and it'll stay there. It'll stay right at that 66, 67%, unless you have active sanity drain from like a ghost event or a hidden ability. So candles are really good for testing ghosts, so that's good. But in terms of functional gameplay, you need it for an objective. You need it to test, well, you don't need it to test non-Rio, but on Nightmare Mode, it's really helpful to test for on-Rios. And also, you can preserve sanity. I would actually recommend as beginners, if you want to get to learn a map, go to the big maps, just put it on amateur and hold a candle and keep it lit and just walk around. Maybe a flashlight, take like a flashlight, lighter, and a candle, and just walk around and keep your sanity at 100 and just explore the map. That's a good thing to do, but how valuable really is it in context of gameplay? I'm going to put it B. It might be a C+ in terms of functional gameplay. Well, it's got more value than a motion sensor. Just because, like, a motion sensor, you set it and you get the objective, there's your $10. A candle can have an objective, but there's added purpose to it. Also, it's not going to draw the ghost in during a hunt, if you need a little bit of light. So it's got to be better than the motion sensor, the parabolic, the tripod, and the flashlight. It's up here. It's B. I can't justify putting it in A. And so let's go over this real quick. Let's just make sure this is where we want everything in the context. So spirit box, writing book, EMF, video cam, photo cam, dots, S tier. I think that's pretty accurate. Smudge sticks. You could make an argument that smudge sticks are S tier. You really could, but you don't. What separates these ones up top here, with exception to the EMF, from the A tier is going to be complete necessity. You completely need a spirit box. You completely need a writing book. EMF, you can make an argument that you don't, but it has the added value built in of just finding the ghost, which is how you start the match. And the quicker you do that, the better off you are, even though you can technically get EMF 5 without an EMF. Video cam, you need it. Photo cam, you don't need it, but it's the most valuable piece of equipment in the game, literally money-wise. Dots, you need it. So smudge sticks, like, yeah. They're creeping in on S, but I can't quite put them there based on the context of S. Sanity pills, you could put them lower. If you wanted to put sanity pills lower, I wouldn't have a problem with that. I like A for sanity pills, just because I always have them. I always use them if I have to. You could put them lower. Same thing with lighter. Well, so you can't use the smudge stick or the candle without the lighter, even though the lighter is kind of empty in itself, but you use it to activate other things, so you need it. It's got to be married to the smudge stick. Strong flashlight, A tier, yeah, it can't be S. I thought about S, but it, then I'm thinking about how I just don't use flashlights at all late game a lot of the time. Thermometer, once again, it's useful. I think that the EMF is more useful for getting an EMF 5 than the thermometer is for getting freezing, but they both have the ability to help you identify the ghost room. You could make an argument for thermometer for S when the ghosts are moving around a lot on Nightmare. I wouldn't put it any lower than A, though. I like it there. And UV light, better than the glow stick. Alternate light source as well. You can light down in a hallway late game, so you can kind of find your path to your hiding spot or whatever while you're holding your camera, your smudge, your lighter. And then B tier, head cam, glow stick, crucifix, salt, candle. They all seem like they're in the same group to me, right? That seems like the same. That's a realistic grouping. I like that. That's definitely, I think that's those 5 to me are the clearest. They're right up there with S tier in terms of just how clear it is to that tier specifically. So like S tier, I'm pretty set on all those. B tier, I'm pretty set on all these. C tier, motion, parabolic, tripod, flashlight, yeah. You could make an argument for tripod being in D tier if you really wanted to. I wouldn't be opposed to that. But I think this is a pretty good representation of how I feel right now, mid 2022. And if they add more equipment in the future, we will certainly update this. Also, we'll be doing a video like this for ghosts, for maps, maybe some other stuff in the future. So stay tuned for that. I hope you enjoyed this video. And I believe you can go onto this website, tiermaker.com, and you can actually do this tier yourself And if you want to do that and put your tier in my Discord in the Phasmophobia section, that would be awesome. Or if you want to comment your own tier rankings or anything you disagree with, that'd be awesome. We can have a good discussion. It's been a fun video. I hope you enjoyed this. This was awesome. I'll see you all next time, YouTube. Oh yeah, happy ghost hunting. Go get 'em, baby. Let's go.